I don't know if you can hear me, but I made it across. It's really bad here, Verlaine. I think there's something here.
Right then, hello everyone. Welcome to part 2 of Isolated Nightmare. I picked the name Isolated Nightmare because I just needed something to call like the Nightmare Run series. Preferably, because it needed to be something short, so it doesn't take up too much room. I guess at the moment we're in an interesting position because I believe in 9 days Season 3 of Fighting Elite will be released. Then in 16 days Alien Colony War will be released. Which I'm very looking forward to. And not only is Colony War coming out on the 26th, but also, hopefully, if I can set up a PayPal, I'll be sending out an order for the Colonial Marines Operations Manual, which is the second core rulebook. Don't think I've seen that before. Black Frost Vodka. Ooh, that uses a little bit of battery. Particularly because in the... well, going back to the little bit before, Colony War is part of like a little trilogy of books. There's going to be Colony War, Inferno's Fall. Oh. And next year we're getting Alien Enemy and My Enemy. And all three of them, by looks, are connected to the Frontier War.
Please report all transit malfunctions immediately.
Gonna go ahead and make a noisemaker. So yes, at the end of the 3 books specified in this little trilogy, they're all centred, it appears, round about the Frontier War. And so at the end of the book there's going to be an RPG scenario. I believe in Colony War, the RPG scenario at the back of that is called Fallout, and Inferno's Fall will be getting... I have to check, I think it was called Evac. That's the RPG scenario, so it's like a quick sort of one-shot thing. There's quite a bit in Inferno's... Inferno's Fall I'm looking forward to because it's all about the pathogen. So instead of the normal alien, we're getting neomorphs in that. And in Colony War, we're going to be the first time seeing the Free World Empire. Hello. Two 137. I don't know if that code's actually used anywhere, because typically you actually have to find the code in an email before you can actually use it somewhere. It's more of, I'd assume those are the original Ron Cobb little diagram pictures, but they may, I wouldn't be surprised to learn they made more for the game.
Hey, you! Need some help?
I need a doctor. Hello? I need it.
I can't hear you. Hang on.
What do you mean by is that the year the game takes place in? Which part? The problem is because the stream's delayed. Because the stream on the phone's delayed from when I
Come on, I'll open the elevator for you.
I'm on the way. Don't calm down.
Come on, come. There's no time.
Because isolation takes place, I think it's 2137. Yeah. At the moment, I think the bulk of Alien at the moment is set in the 2180s, because that's when the RPG is. Because Colony War, I'd assume, is maybe some close to, I think 2184 is the Frontier War, so Colony War is going to be round about that time, I'd imagine. As for Inferno's Fall and Enemy of My Enemy, I'd assume that's going to be a similar setting. Well, AIDS.
Forget the door. The marshals locked everything down. Use the vent.
I'd imagine all three books are going to be in like the 2180s, because they're all centered books on the Frontier War. One of the main things I'm looking forward to in Colony War is that it's the first time we're going to see the Free World Empire, because they've been described in the RPG, and we saw their emblem in the first film. It's on Jonesy's cat box. There's a little Free World Empire emblem on it, but we haven't seen what their actual like technology looks like or anything. Mission 5 isn't too bad, because something I noticed pretty quickly, I don't think it was my first playthrough, it might have been my... The first time I played it was with my sister on her Xbox One, then I got it from my Xbox 360, so I could play it myself, and I don't know if it's on my first playthrough on 360 or a second one, but I noticed the alien is very scripted in San Cristobal. So if you watch where it goes, it is a bit easier to move around it. So normal difficulty I can get through without even having to use a noisemaker. Nightmare, I can't remember if that's the same case.
At 3 p.m. to 7 p.m. Thank
The
you.
main problem I have, particularly on Nightmare, is the getting Lingard's message. That's where I had to quit the original permadeath playthrough, because I died quite a few times on that. I think I died twice in the exact same spot and a third just before it, so I decided, yeah, no, I'm just gonna not do permadeath. I'm just gonna play the game normally on Nightmare.
You're not catching us at our best.
Right.
It's not necessarily the Lingard's message which is the problem, it's just that area in general. It's not a great area to navigate.
I'm Coolman.
Ripley, I need to find a doctor.
I'm a doctor.
My friend needs help. Medical supplies.
Me too. There are no supplies on this level. But there are plenty downstairs in the hospital dispensary.
How do we get there?
We? Do I look like I'm in any fit state? I need your help and you need mine. You find the passcode for the service elevator and then I'll come down to the hospital with you, okay?
Passcode?
Yeah. I can direct you from here. Morley or Lingard would have had the new passcode. Morley's office is your best bet.
The worst part of the area is trying to get into the key card, because there's no door in that room. There's a massive window. and an alien spawns an event just around the corner from where the door is. And so it's very finicky trying to get the key cards. Because first you have to go on a computer, you have to get the passcode, you have to go to the little wall locker, put the passcode in, get the card out, and get to the door, all without the alien hopefully not seeing you. So I'd say that early game is worst with the alien, just because you don't really have anything to drive it off with. Because it gets a lot easier later on, because the rooms open up a bit more, you get more items, and so it's just easier across the board. I do know a slight tactic to use in here. Hopefully it should work. I think the last time I played on Nightmare, the way I got past was when you jump down into the little sour block, I threw a noisemaker in there, and as the alien runs in, I go around to where the passcode is. Well, now we know what the explosive canister looks like. Because I always assumed it was like a red canister, but it's not, it's those grey ones.
Come on. Let's work together, huh? Mutual benefit.
So I thought these would be explosive, but I don't think they are. It's like the little silver ones. Well,
The area you're in was for our more unstable patients, those who had trouble adapting to deep space.
Just tell me where to go, Colin.
Tragic cases. Don't worry, they're all long gone.
So the other problem with the explosive canisters is they're very... not necessarily situational, but you have to get the timing right, because otherwise the alien will just barge through it regardless. Oh, were those red ones explosive as well? I thought it was just those silver ones from later in the campaign. Because that door access is active, but even then, you can't go through it without code. That door we can lock from that end. Sometimes I turn the shower on, but I don't know if that actually works at distracting the alien.
No, wrong way.
I also don't... I don't think there's anything in the floor vent to pick up.
You are standing on a hill. Your home is in the valley below. You are far away, but you can see it clearly. You know you
This
can...
place had such promise when I first came here. It's a tragedy. A waste of my talents.
Well, the sound code is a bit finicky in it itself, because you had to get to the rewire tool.
You are sitting by a river.
So it's probably just worth
next to
just
a sturdy
bypassing it
bridge.
without bothering with the alarm.
Tragic cases. Far from the rhythms of Earth, sunrise, sunset, the mind has a tendency to wander. Tragic cases. But Morley wasted far too much time on coddling them. They should never have come here. None of us should.
Don't take kindly to being left out of the loop, Morley. You hear me? I tried to use the dispensary today and found I was locked out. I can't possibly be expected to carry out my duties if you and Lingard cut my access privileges. I have patients who will relapse without that medication, particularly when things on the station are so precarious. I will not see patient care suffer. Consider this a formal warning. And for the record, I do not have a problem. Coleman, out.
Yeah, I think you might do, Coleman. So probably, at least in the original story, you were going to have an issue. That's probably one of the downsides of having the original story cut. Because one of the from what I understand, in the original story, Coleman was going to have an alien implanted in him. He was going to have like a chest burst, and so he's trying to experiment to try and find a way to remove it safely. Because I feel like that would have been a cool idea to keep. This is a case of like how you implement it and keep the pacing the same. Yeah, because I don't think we can pick up anything down here.
That's right. Along that corridor.
Because perhaps if Coleman turned out to be like sort of a little villain for this section of the game, with the idea that he wants like to use people to like get the chest burster out, they could have made it work in that sense.
You're there. That's Morley's office. The passcode should be in there somewhere.
I think especially because from what I saw, I think they were going to have it so Coleman is also remorseful for what he's doing. Because the only reason he's doing it is just to save himself. He's not doing it just to be hateful to the other Sevastopol citizens. He knows what he's doing is bad. At least that was the impression I was getting.
Have you found the passcode? Look, we'll need the physical keycard too. Morley always kept it on him. Find him.
Warning. Medical facility quarantine
Gun crime's
breach
rampant
detected.
on Sevastopol.
Warning.
Relax.
Medical
I'm
facility
just trying to find
quarantine
out
breach
what that
detected.
is. You focus on finding that keycard.
Shit.
1702. Okay, so I know a way to get past this section pretty quick, but just because I really like the animation, we'll just sit by and let it play out. It's such a great animation, I love it. I wish we can see stuff like that in a new film or even a TV show, like how elegant the alien's capable of moving. Because it does sort of accentuate the idea that it's the perfect organism, so it moves in sort of like a perfect way. It's one of the only downsides of having like the actors in a costume. Because even though it's great to have practical effects, there's only so much you can do with it. So I feel like if to get the right combination of practical effect and CG, it would be really good. I guess the other thing to put in chat is just
You're there. That's Morley's office. The passcode should be in there somewhere.
I forgot to pin the little message to say what the achievements we need to get are. Because we already can't get the no death one because we died to the humans very early on. Probably because the guy had just turned at the wrong moment.
Have you found the passcode? Look, we'll need the physical keycard too. Morley always kept it on him. Find him.
So from what I've seen,
Relax. I'm just trying to find out what that is. You focus on finding that keycard.
Morley.
Now if we can get to the save point down here. True, but because it's Nightmare, I'm more willing to play it differently. If I was playing it on normal, I probably wouldn't do that, but it's just because... it's just to make it a little bit easier on us. It's definitely not the way they intended me to play the game, but at the same time, if it's something that makes it easier, then more often than not, I'm sort of willing to give it a go. It's gone the way I need to go. Now if I'm correct, it'll go into the room on the left, the one in front of us for the air vent, then it'll go right. So I could throw a noisemaker, but at the same time I probably want to keep that for later. I don't think it necessarily takes the fun out of the game, because it still fits in like what someone would do given a situation. If they see the alien come out the vent, they are going to try and leg it and put some distance between them. I don't know why that sound keeps playing, I've never heard that before. Seems to be maybe it's exclusive to Nightmare difficulty. So what I want to wait for here is the alien to come back and go through that front door. However, because I'm now in this area, it's probably going to stay here, because that's how the AI works. It always sticks closer to the player. Yeah, Dr. Morley, he had some problem with the alien. I do like the idea that Morley stayed behind to look after people, even when everyone else abandoned San Cristobal. Now there's two ways to go, because there's the room at the end of this area. Again, there's that sound effect. I don't know where that's coming from. So there's the room at the end of this corridor where we can use the key card on to get through, or we can just go back through the main area. Going back through the main area always seems the easy route, especially when I use the alarm. Yeah, same, I've never heard those sound cues before. Let's see. I can also turn the alarm system on in there. One of the downsides of the novelisation again is this entire section is pretty much cut from the book. Not only this, but the following section in the dispensary, that's gone as well. You just don't... Well, it might be in there, but it's very cut back. Yeah, this way I just find it a little bit easier, because there's a lot more cover. So the alien's in the side room. Well, it depends on where the alien goes. We could go continue going the long route, or just go the short route. I could go item hunting in here, but it's best just to go straight back to Coleman. We don't want to dawdle too much.
Damn you, Coleman! You knew that thing was here!
Now that's unfair. I thought it might be there. There's a difference. Now, the passcode.
1702, okay? Now let's get down to the dispensary.
Of course, of course. A promise is a promise. I'm sorry for putting you through this. I'm going to step into the other room to punch the code in and prime the elevator. Then we can use the key card to take the elevator down.
Are you sure about that, Coleman?
There. I'll collect my things and we can leave. Oh, God.
Okay, the talking's finished. There's some people having a conversation outside the door. Yeah, because I've learnt the hard way, you don't want to dawdle in that spot. The moment you see the alien come back out, you want to be gone. It's not a good idea to stay behind. I think I've only ever had one stun baton charge on this difficulty. Thankfully though, I don't think we'll need the stun baton too much. Blasting capsule, so maybe I shouldn't use that one noisemaker then.
Samuels, there's a Dr. Lingard, senior medical officer. Should be able to find out where they're keeping everything in her office.
Good luck, Ripley. Hurry if you can.
Okay. I don't think I've ever had the aliens show up in this area. At least not if I've deliberately called it there. I think in the original scripts, that's where you try to heist and... I can't remember what the other guy's called from Marlowe's crew from the East Aura. But they were going to be in the morgue, killed from chest bursters. But they changed that in the final shooting script. Yeah, we can skip it, but at the same time it is, say, a good part of the story, so we might as well go for it. I've heard that apparently the alien can kill you during the animation though.
This is Lingard, Senior Medical Officer at Sevastopol Station. I want to state
For the record.
I have been placed under duress with regards to the compromised patient Zero. And Ransom, Seegson's head of operations, he made certain threats for my career and my certification. I want that on record. God help me. That woman needed help. I didn't know what type of parasite she had encountered, but it had planted something inside her. I am so sorry. I had no way of knowing what would happen.
on, I think I just might need to pause the stream for a little bit. I'll be back soon. Okay, I'm back. Just because we've got family staying at the moment, so just need to make sure that they didn't need the spare bed. Now this bit is typically where I die on Nightmare. I usually misjudge where the alien is down that corridor. It's in the middle room, where we started from. Now it's in that vent. I don't think it can walk through the fire, so it has to go the long way round. It would be nice if you get codes from some of these sticky notes. Nearby. There's also, because in I think the previous stream they mentioned about the prospect of like a child going into the nest, and you can do that in the RPG because one of the character roles you can pick is a kid. So if you want, you could recreate even aliens with Newt essentially. There's a lot of characters you can choose from because you've got like the typical scientist and engineer, but you've also got more like unique roles like colonial marines, colonial marshal as well. And all the guns from Alien Isolation are in the RPG core rulebook. You've got the revolver, the bolt gun, the shotgun, and it's the same design as well from this game. So you could even, if you want, make your own little campaign base set on Sevastopol. Like if you want to have like a bunch of colonial marshals hunting down the alien, you could do that. Originally I thought there was a corridor in this room, but it's not. It must be another one. This is previously where I've used a noisemaker. I've thrown it into that starting room. The most annoying bit now is going to be the room on our left, trying to get the key card. Hang on.
Visitors are asked to refrain from smoking.
Dr. Lingard, this is Ransom. Remember me? Your friendly Seegson chief executive. Lingard, you don't drop by, you don't call. Aren't we pals anymore? Oh well, we're both busy people. And after all, I have lots of other friends. Some of them have badges. One of them told me you called Marshal Waits about a, shall we say, interesting find? I want in. No arguments. After all, how much does Waits really know about you? Not as much as your old friend here, and I bet he wouldn't be as understanding about black market med supplies. I look forward to your call, Doc.
I'm having to turn the mic off periodically because there's a lot of noise at the moment. Just try and make sure I don't get as much of it on stream.
Samuels, I'm on my way. It's got hell in here, Samuels.
Synthetic nurses operated this facility.
We might have got a new ID card, possibly. C. Burrows, because I don't think we got that one before.
Samuels, I've got the meds.
We're at the transit station outside medical reception. Ripley, we heard gunshots, and if we heard them, so did the creature.
Turner, we've had something go down here in San Cristobal. Tape off the scene and make sure it's not touched until Garcia comes in with forensics. Keep this quiet for now. I want total silence. Last thing this station needs is a panic. And one other thing. If I find out who leaked this to Ransom, I'll make them eat their fucking badge. He turned up, quoted Seegson privileges, and had a ringside seat for the whole goddamn mess. This is a serious incident. I don't need Ransom making it more complicated. Do you read me? Waits out.
Can't trust anyone. Gotta make my own way.
Okay, should be okay for the mic to be on now. Usually the alien only appears when the alarm goes off. I guess because it's nightmare difficulty. It shows up earlier.
Reception's a no-go. I can't get out.
That's the only way through. Ripley, this is a public hospital. There has to be an evacuation procedure.
Oh, you can? Oh, okay. I didn't know you could go straight to the room. I know there's a room on the right, but I don't know if I can go through that door yet. Alright, I can.
After the incident, the marshals want us to rope off medical. They're bringing in a team to find whatever it was the patient was carrying. I told them it was fast, but they're convinced they can trap it. They've got nets. I'll set up a temporary medical center outside. You're in charge for now. Don't let Coleman sweet-talk his way in. The last thing we need is him self-medicating with Marshal Waits around.
Yes, he definitely was stealing drugs then. got a vaguely safe area here because I don't think the alien can enter, and unless you really screw up. We definitely need to make sure that by the end of the game we've got either Molotovs or pipe bombs stockpiled for when we get to Sinclair's hideout, because we're going to need them. Because there's at least one scripted alien attack, which you can't avoid. Also get a really good look at the sun here, so you can see all the solar flares coming off it. This is a really quite interesting appearance to detail. Can both be avoided though? Because I know there's one where it jumps through a broken door. There's one where it sees you through the glass, but it doesn't attack, it just comes towards you, like where your area is. I didn't think the second one could be avoided when it's looking through the door. The benefit of getting it though is that it gives you a special animation, I guess. It's unique to that area. Oh, so do you mean the animation when it jumps through the door, it's blind? Because part of me would like to get the animation just because it is unique, but at the same time, it is a waste of fuel. I guess it all depends how much we have when we get to it. At the moment I am dead set on like writing a campaign for the RPG based on the old story for Alien Isolation. I just need to wait till I get like the starter set Destroyer of Worlds so I can see what an actual scenario looks like for it, and I can use that as a basis. That door's now locked. I'm curious. In this scenario, can you actually see the alien in the vent? Or is it just the slime? Like, can you actually see it, like, curled up? Yeah, I imagine it's probably just a slime. Moving away from the door. Can't tell on this. Oh, there it is. Hang on, Wi-Fi's gone off my phone, so I can't see chat. Connected, no internet. Okay, it's back. You can see chat again in the stream. I love that little bit of the shadow on the wall, that was great. There's a lot of stuff we're missing, but it's best to do that. If you really want to be climbing during a fire, though, because the smoke's going to climb to the top. There's air up here. Yeah, so I would have thought there'd be less air at the top. It'd probably be safe just to stay near the ground, because smoke rises. But then again, they wouldn't look cool though, would it? Because it needs to do the little set piece. So far, the best experience I've had in that area was when I turned the power on. Well, no, I interacted with the power plant. Then on the way back, the alien came in the vent round the corner. Because that one where we hid under the bed, there's a vent directly near it. And as I was going around that corner at this point, the alien came out. So I hid behind a box and thought, that's it, I'm dead. But I hear like a, hey, what are you doing here? I turn around and it's the entire like group of raiders are there, like all of them. And then as I sit there watching, the alien walks past, fights like the first of the raiders, and I immediately like just walk away. But it was such a cool way in how it happened, because it was literally just the perfect set of events. Like the fact that the raiders had all moved to follow me, the alien had come down in front of me, and then it had seen them first. And so you have that bit when all of them are stood there with their guns pointed out as the alien walks past. Unfortunately, I don't think I recorded that. I don't think I was streaming at the time. It was a very cool moment though. There's a Stromo log in there, but we can't get it yet. That is one of the good points about the game, is like when you get those segments like that. Like where you just get the perfect sequence of events. Because I think after Fireteam Elite, if we do get a new Alien game anytime soon, I would prefer it to be more like Isolation, or just like a GTFO type game, where it is action based, you can kill the alien, but it's just really difficult to do so. Also preferably single player campaign focus, and then just a multiplayer component just to add more life to the game. Because one of the problems with Fireteam Elite is, unless I have PS Plus, I can't really experience much of the game. Because at the moment, there's the point defense game mode, but point defense you can only play it with other players. If you try and play it with the AI, you just can't do it. Even on standard difficulty, I can't beat point defense solo, because the AI just isn't good enough. So I would like the moment to happen again, but unfortunately it's not the case. Maybe it's something I'll put into like a campaign for the RPG. So it's like one of like the few scripted set pieces, like the alien showing up in front of you, but then all the raiders are directly behind you, so the alien prioritises them first. And instead of it dropping down from a vent in that bomb room, it can just charge you from behind, because it follows you. Because I guess the other problem with the novelization is, especially if you're like a Puritan in terms of Isolation story, you probably won't like this, but in the novel, when Coleman dies, they blow the reveal of there being more than one alien. Because in the book, the way they have it is that Coleman...
There's a piece missing.
He knows the alien is there. Well, no, it's not that. Coleman already has the passcode for the elevator. The reason he hasn't left is because he's worried about the alien killing him. So he sends in Amanda so she would die, and then as she's getting the card, he goes off to the elevator, and when it opens there's an alien inside and it kills Coleman. But doing that, it ruins the reveal of there being two aliens, because one of them comes out in the medical bay, but Amanda literally just walks right past it. So he essentially did what I did, but to escape the bay entirely. So they just skip the segment. I wouldn't know without rereading it, but I'm pretty sure that the novelization of Isolation cuts out most of the alien encounters. Most of the alien encounters are removed. And there is a little tidbit in particular which might annoy you.
Mahoney, thank God. We got jumped. Looters. We saw it on the security feed.
So yeah, so they pretty much, at the very beginning, just give out the idea that, oh yeah, there's more than one alien. They just
We
do
don't
it.
know where to look. Is he insane? Peterson wants to know if you're fucking insane. Those things have started attacking people.
So I like the idea of the alien being in the elevator with Coleman. I think it's a good idea, but it's just that it kind of ruins the reveal that there's more than one.
Okay, Francis out.
Then you've got the whole hive being cut in half, so it's like really tiny.
Well, I'm sure as hell not making new best friends with one of those things.
Because in the book, the way the hive plays out is Amanda enters it, shoots a facehugger with a shotgun, doesn't alert a single alien, and then she just walks straight back out after turning the thing on. She doesn't fight a single alien. There's no tension in the hive in the book. She literally walks in and out. The only thing she has to fight is a facehugger with a shotgun, and that's it. But would you want a spoiler for towards the end of the novelization? But in particular, I think this has a good chance of pissing you off. But would you want to know what it is? It happens right near the end when Amanda escapes Sevastopol.
So, what do we do now?
I have a feeling you won't like it.
What did you think that noise was we heard earlier?
Sounded like an explosion.
I'll only tell you that if you want to. Because even though it is a novelization, there is some differences. And this one might be a bit too
Kill that
much.
creature by setting traps. Remote charges. Can you believe that? He's got to be crazy.
Maybe that's the answer. I heard that Waits has some kind of safe haven up near the Galleria. We could go there.
Did you not hear what I said? Crazy fuckers blowing stuff up. No thanks.
We're running out of options.
Then shut up and let me think.
As long as nothing goes wrong here, we should get a pretty interesting segment. Well, would you be okay with me saying this one extra bit? Or would you rather maybe... Because are you... Because if you're not... Are you... Mixing up my words. Would you be interested in reading the novelization? If not, I could tell you something which... It's... I think I've seen... I don't know if I've seen many people divided over it, but then again, most people don't... I think haven't read the novelization. They just play the game. So I do kind of want to tell you just to gauge your reaction. Just to see if it's like, oh yeah, I'm okay with that, or it's like, yeah, that shouldn't have happened.
Smythe, I've been looking over your report on the Wayland-Yutani androids and your proposals for improving the working Joes. Now, I appreciate the work you put in, but understand we live in different worlds. Yours is full of extrapolations and estimations. Mine has an executive suite and $8,000 suits. Bottom line is, I gotta look after the money, buddy. I hired you because you were the cheapest, not the best. Find a way to bring these costs down, huh? Ransom out.
You really don't want the alien to come out yet, because there's a pretty cool scripted thing that can happen. Even then, sometimes it doesn't happen. This is frustrating, because it looks really bloody cool when it does happen. Are you okay with me telling you then? If so, prepare yourself. Because I personally was not a big fan of this at all. Because see now, they cut out most of the alien set pieces. This extra little bit was just, yeah, no, this is absolutely ridiculous. Why was this put in here? So, the thing that gets me so worked up is towards the end of the book. Wait, let's see if this happens first. Yes. Oh no, we missed a bit. Yeah, I love that animation. The one bit we missed is where you see the guy's legs shoot up into the vent, and then the alien comes back out and gets the other guys. In terms of the novel, so what happens is it's when Amanda's preparing to board the Torrance, where you have to, I think...
Smythe, have you been practicing the script for the VIPs visiting today? We need to impress. Noise from upstairs says they're the last potential bidders for Sevastopol's working drill rollout. If they go with Weyland-Yutani cast-offs instead, the jobs Seegson have allocated for us back on Earth are on the line. Don't screw up. Spreading out.
So I think it's when Amanda's activating the catwalk to board the Torrance. An alien enters the command room, and from what I can remember, Amanda turns round, shoots it 1 second burst with the flamethrower, and kills it. Amanda just straight up kills an alien with like a split burst of the flamethrower. And then you have some people come in like, oh, is that the thing that's been terrorizing people? It's like, wait, what? Because we've seen aliens get killed by flamethrowers in like the books and the video games, but usually that takes a while before it actually dies. I'm pretty sure in the book it's just like a split second, like she doesn't hold the flamethrower on it very long and it just drops dead, like that. And so you combine that with the fact that the hive is pretty much non-existent in the book. San Cristobal's completely cut down. Most of the encounters with the alien are omitted, and then you just have Amanda kill it with the flamethrower. I don't know if the author played the game. 'Cause I know there's a... I can't remember what Ritz review it was. But AVP Galaxy, one of them mentioned the novelization, like the author, and I think he suggested that maybe the author hadn't read the book, but it might have been like in a passing comment, like, oh, this is what it feels like when you don't read the source material. I'd have to look up and see if there's any interviews where maybe the author's like, oh yeah, I didn't play the game. But it does feel like someone who just read the plot on like Wikipedia. Especially because like, all the tension's gone. It feels very much like someone read it on Wikipedia, and because of that, because they didn't actually play it, they didn't get all like the context for it, so it's like, oh, I'll just cut this scene out because it's not that important. Actually, yes it is. It's one of the most tense and filled sequences in the game. You don't get that by just reading the synopsis on Wikipedia. Yeah, but there's a lot of because at first the flashbacks are okay with Amanda's like backstory, but there does come a point where it's like, oh, for fuck's sake, stop. We've had enough flashbacks. Please just continue the story of Sevastopol. Because the pacing's altered. So, for example, the LV-426 flashback is at the very beginning of the book. So when Marlowe talks to Amanda, we just get, I think, a different flashback entirely. Some of the flashbacks just aren't useful whatsoever. It's like, well, what did this tell us? It was a nice little character moment for, like, her mother, Ellen Ripley. Because there's one where she reads about how Ellen Ripley took down a mutiny attempt. It's like, yeah, that was cool. But what did it have to add to the story? Because I can't help but feel like if there weren't so many flashbacks, they could have done more of Isolation adapted. Because as it stands, not much of Isolation's in the book. Because one of the things I saw in the Amazon reviews was someone said, there's no environmental detail. Yeah, it's a nice... Isolation's got a lot of good music in it. I don't know how much is new compared to how much is from the original film, but if there is new stuff in it, they did a good job mixing it in. And so this person in their review said that Isolation, it lacks all of the environmental detail from the game. So in the book, Sevastopol is just essentially just a bunch of like windowless corridors. Because even in the spaceflight terminal, you have that room littered with body bags. So me like, okay, something bad has happened here. This is a lot of dead people. In the book, that's not there. I think they wait for Amanda to either find the dead guy with the rents, or the guy riddled with bullet holes to be like, oh, the station's gone to shit. It's like, well, could you not have done that with the body bag room?
Smythe, it's Spedding. You knew full well that these guys were the last bidders for Sevastopol's Apollo system, and you totally fucked the android presentation. They're not interested. So no bonus for me, no half share for you, and God only knows what it means for the suits upstairs. That's got me pissed. But you know what's getting me even more pissed? I have to stay on Sevastopol to oversee the synthetic shutdown while you go home. Don't have nightmares on the trip back, jackass.
At the moment, I would probably say that my favourite soundtrack for Alien, I would think is Covenant, because it's a perfect blend of using old tracks, new tracks, and then tracks which are a combination of old and new combined. And I think those three put together just makes Covenant just absolutely beautiful. It's just the same that the film just fucked up the story a little bit, particularly the characters.
How can I help you?
I need a compression cylinder.
Components warehouse. Row 1, stack B. Follow me.
Just keep the noise down, okay?
Wait, why are you going this way round? What are you doing? Go that way. Also, which is the mission where you can see ice on the pipes? You mentioned there's a mission where you can see ice on all the piping, so I guess the implication being it was leftovers from the Patna. I don't think we got to that level yet, I think that's much later on.
Here we are.
Wait, this mission?
Your compression cylinder will be found at the far end of this row.
Well. Time to see what we can farm from here. One of the things I have been thinking about is, based on the concept art, the Patna looks absolutely tiny. But yeah, if the Isidora interior was meant to be the Patna, it looks a lot larger than what the ship originally would have been. Though then again, it was only just concept art, they might have changed the design later on if they were going to implement it. With the PS4 version, the button prompts can be a bit finicky to load in. You have to get either really close to it or really far away. Oh, I can see something there. I can build a pipe bomb. Then again, we've only got one ethanol, 2 blasting caps. I don't think we want to make it yet. Especially because we are going to get the flamethrower soon, so we might as well just wait. Also gonna turn off the power. Remember, for a long time I never used to know that button was there. It's only more recently I learned that. Oh. Another sensor. What happens if you save the android then? Does it end up attacking you anyway, or does it just sort of hang around not doing much? Okay. I'll check as much of these as I can. Oh, come on. Oh, so it just walks away. Oh, I see a flare. Is there anything that got cut out of isolation that you would really want to be in? Like something which you'd be like, yeah, I just absolutely wish we could have seen that. Because I think I've seen you talk on Twitter about really wanting the partner to have been in the game. Just because of how good the concept art looks. But is there anything else? I think we've checked that one. Maybe if they do release like a map editor, we can like make like a Solace map in that. I think one of the things I've always sort of wondered is where the facehuggers come from on the Inisadora. So is the assumption that Marlowe and his team picked up a bunch of eggs in order to bring back? If that's the case, how did he actually get out in the ship? One downside is I'm pretty sure the bodies have despawned now. Yep. Don't think I've seen that poster before. There's the scorpion thing. It's the same, because I don't know if they've had any items on them. Yes, because on console it's different, you've got like the memory space and stuff. Because they're not as powerful as a PC is. Save there as well. Behind you. I do like how even when we were going through the 100 death grind, there's bits where you could see the alien like just slowly walk up to the NPCs. It doesn't like charge them necessarily, it just like slowly walks up to them. Oh, so that button doesn't do anything, I'm pretty sure, because I've tried it before. There's a rewire tool. I don't think that does anything either. If anything, I think the rewire tool just gets me killed. Now he's looking in my direction, so I can't really move anywhere. Never noticed those computers there before. Well, we should be fine.
How do I get off?
Also, did we get a new card? No, that was one we already got before. So I'd assume then we did get at least one new one, which is this one, C. Burrows. Then again, there's a lot of cards left to go, and I don't know how hidden they're going to be. Because there's a lot of areas in the game which are locked off, and you need to go there at the exact right moment to actually get inside. Which is one of the parts which is always... Because I think it's just after you purge the reactor, you can go back to some areas which are locked previously. But it's still a nuisance though. It's door access. I think that maybe opens this door here. Wait, no, I don't think it does. It's this one here that's open. Yeah, because I think it's after you've purged the reactor you can open up a lot of hidden areas. It's just that because you've done that, the alien is now actively hunting you again. It's a trade-off, I guess. Like, you can explore more of the area, but you now have the alien again. Now, for this bit, don't really think I want to be wasting ethanol on a smoke bomb. Because they give you 3 chances before you start shooting, so as long as I run past them, we should be fine. This means I can't really item hunt, I just need to go straight to the elevator.
Last time I slept.
It's no use. I've already seen you.
Look, I don't know
make
you.
me do that.
Turn around now.
Don't tell anyone.
Don't come back here. You're this close.
They say like, oh, don't come back here, but I'm pretty sure they just follow you. Let's see. Is he? Oh good, finally. Because usually when I run past them they actually follow me out here and shoot me. But this time they've stayed in their little area. Also, this is my favourite poster in the game. Really like the way that looks. I'd love to have that as an actual poster. Unfortunately, I don't think anyone does them. But yeah, Seegson, tomorrow together. We don't forget the little details when seeing the big picture. Really nice aesthetic. Oh, I missed that one. Might see it again though. To sleep, per chance to dream. I have to remember that in case we find it again. I don't think I've ever got through here. But right, this is something I want to call out. This says number 1. Yet it doesn't use a number 1 axis tuner. I feel like that's extremely... Well, it's not necessarily well, I guess it's manipulative in the sense that it tricks you into thinking you need like a level 1 axis tuner. In my opinion, it should be saying whatever number tuner you need. Instead, you just have to keep coming up to like, have I got it now? Have I got it now? Have I got it now? No. You just have to sort of guess when you can get there. I assume it needs I assume you need the max level 1 to open it. Because I don't think I've ever got it open before. Because I noticed it would be... Because I noticed it with the Nostromo log door, that says number 1 as well, but you can't open it yet. In my opinion, a number should be reflective of what axis tuner you need. I don't know why they all just say number 1. It doesn't make any sense. This bit we can... I think that's just a level 1 torch you need for that. Maybe, I can't remember. It might be level 1 or 2. It'd be pretty easy to do as well, because you just need to, like...
I sent you a clear directive not to land on station.
I told you we didn't hear your message. We understood you would be...
Hey!
Identify yourself.
Ripley, from the Torrens.
Relax, kid.
What the hell is going on here, Marshal? Where's the security forces?
You're looking at them.
I've seen the creature. What is it?
I don't know. Something brought here by Marlowe, the captain of the Anisadora.
The ship that found the flight recorder.
Is there anywhere safe left on this station? That creature's running around, and the Seegson synthetics are less than friendly.
Goddamn androids. Ripley. Taylor needs attention.
Medical's a no-go. We can't take her there.
We have a basic life support unit back at HQ.
Then let's go.
We need the transit to get to HQ, but it's down. Transit control is upstairs. Samuels says you're an engineer. Go make yourself useful, seeing as you screwed up the trap.
Yeah, right. We'll talk about that later, Waits. You protect them while I'm gone. Understood?
Ricardo, get a lock on our radio so we can stay in touch.
One little bit of trivia I found interesting was the voice actor for Marshal Waits is the same actor who played Lieutenant Gorman in the second Alien film. And apparently he's also played the voices in Aliens vs Predator and Alien vs Predator 2. So he played the character Groves in the 2010 video game. I think I know what character Groves is. Yeah, he's the head scientist. So the scientist Groves from AVP 2010 is played by Marshal Waits, who was also played by Lieutenant Gorman. What happened there? What else has he done?
Take your trash with you.
Hang on. He's narrated audiobook versions of Aliens and Alien Resurrection, so the novelizations. He reprised the role of Gorman in the 2017 audio drama Alien River of Pain. And he's provided vocal effects for the Predators in the 1999 video game Alien vs Predator. Well, that's kind of interesting idea that he's done voice work for the Predators in the AVP games. I don't know what he necessarily would have recorded, whether it's just him growling into the microphone. But yeah, good on him though. He's definitely passionate about the series, you got to give him that.
Are you all right, Ripley?
Yep.
Peachy.
Hey, Ricardo.
We really should hurry. Taylor.
Don't worry, Samuels. We'll get her out of here.
I've got no hard feelings, by the way, about you trying to blow me up.
Realize coming aboard was a bad idea yet?
I wouldn't call the welcome friendly.
There's more. Oh, I didn't know that dialogue existed. That's awesome.
He hasn't slept in days. Me neither.
Is there any more dialogue we could get? I assume it's probably just them saying like, "Oh, you need to hurry up now." But yeah, I never knew those dialogue lines existed in the game. That's pretty cool. But Ricardo is one of my favourite characters from the game. I feel like it's a shame he doesn't make it through. I really liked his chemistry with Amanda. Yeah, because I think this opens when we reset the generator. Well, the reactor, I mean. Or wait. Is there a... No, there's a vent. No, that's where we come back from this mission. We go through there. And then... there's another door, I think, on the other side of the transit system. That one opens, I think, when we reset the reactor. I feel like Alien is doing really well right now. particularly with the lore and the world building, I feel like Alien is in a new golden age at the moment. Because I feel like the lore and the backstory has never been stronger. With the work done in the RPG, Alien is in like a really strong place story-wise. It's just a shame that most people judge the franchise on like the films. It's like, oh, but Alien, but the later films sucked. It's like, well, it's not just the films, you know. There's the books, the video games, the comics, the RPG. There's so much other stuff, but people just like shrug it off, I guess. Because I remember for a long time people were arguing that, oh, Alien Isolation isn't canon. What do you mean it's not canon? Of course it's canon. If Colonial Marines could be called canon, well, at the time, surely Isolation can. But thankfully, Colonial Marines is no longer canon. There are elements of it, like the guns and the alien types, like the Crusher, the Spitter and stuff like that. But the actual story of Colonial Marines is no longer canon, which is honestly good, because Colonial Marines was god-awful.
Someone shut everything off.
Hello? I know someone's in here. Calm down in there, you android fuck! No, what did you do?
You shouldn't be here. Come with me, please.
I see you.
The answer.
I feel like it's the same. I can't pick up his gun or take the ammo from it. That feels a bit bullshit. Reminds me of The Last of Us when they do stuff like that.
Ripley, this is Waits. The transit's here. We're waiting on you.
Take it. I had some trouble, so it's gonna take me a while to get back.
We can wait.
Taylor can't. I can catch the next car.
Your call.
But I'm pretty certain though Isolation is without a doubt it's canon now. It appears in the RPG core rulebook. I think it appears in the... it's at least mentioned in the Weyland-Yutani report. Oh, charge pack, that's what I used for the noisemaker, not blasting cap, that was something else. I'll leave that sensor. Because so far the strength of Alien, like the lore, is that they seem to be hesitant to retcon anything. If they can, they try and bring it forward. So there's some stuff in the RPG book which is from the old books. For example, there's a bit speculating about I think an alien king, which is from Alien Rogue. There's reference to the Palatine from, I think it's Genocide and Female War. If I'm remembering correctly, the Palatine is like a really giant drone. It's like a drone that's the size of a queen, and it protects the Queen Mother, or an Empress. There's reference to the engineers as the Malakak, which is from Original Sin, the first DH Press book.
Guys, it's Sinclair. We need supplies. Take what you can from whoever you want. I found an area in habitation where we can seal ourselves in and wait for rescue. I've got guys welding vents shut and shutting off elevators. Plan is to make it watertight. There's no room for more people in the sanctuary, but we can make space for their food, meds, water, and guns. If we're gonna get everyone through this alive, there's no room for pity.
I'll wait on building stuff till we have more schematics, because it might be I build a bunch of stuff, but then we just can't make any Molotovs. We need to be careful about that.
Ripley, we heard voices as we left. Watch yourself.
There's even a bit in the RPG where it says, I guess like paleontologists in the alien universe believe the engineers and the space jockey are two separate things. Yeah, the pipe bomb also has a very large explosive radius, though it can easily kill us if we're not careful.
Feels like we're standing around waiting to die. That, today's the day we finally seal ourselves in the habitation decks.
And so something I imagine a lot of Alien fans would be happy about is the idea that the space jockey and the engineers aren't the same thing and that they're separate.
Come on, someone will send help soon.
I think the idea they give is that I don't think it's outright like confirmed yet, it's just sort of like they're speculating.
Let's go find Sinclair. No way we should be splitting up. Safety in numbers.
And so the idea is that
Not
maybe...
even sure of that anymore. That thing is unstoppable.
Give me one clear shot. I'll stop the fucker.
This is some bullshit.
Yeah, so the idea they give is that maybe the engineers have taken their technology from the space jockey race. I personally like the idea that maybe the space jockey made the engineers. And at some point the engineers turned on their creators. And that's why their spacesuits look like a space jockey. But it all depends. Because personally, I don't think... I'm hesitant on getting another prequel film. Because I don't think Ridley understands the series, to be perfectly honest. He doesn't understand why the alien works, why the series works, and I think he should stick to doing his own original stuff. Leave Aliens to people who know what they're doing and who actually appreciate the series for what it is. And not trying to do other stuff with it, which just doesn't belong. The one thing I'll give the prequels is the pathogen. I absolutely love that. Partially because it's tied in with The Thing a little bit. Because I love John Carpenter's The Thing. I think it's my favourite film of all time. And I really love body horror designs for monsters. There's just body horror in monster design is just perfect. And so the pathogen kind of
Ripley,
is similar.
We're in the Marshal Bureau. Just turn right at the top of the stairs. You can't miss it.
No welcome committee?
Just get up here. Wait's out.
Now we don't have to worry about an alien being here or a bunch of raiders. So I saw someone on Twitter, I think, say that they think another prequel film would kill the franchise. I don't know if it necessarily killed the franchise, but I think it would definitely get a lot of people disinterested even further. Because in my opinion, they should just go straight for what the RPG is setting up and have it so the space jockey and the engineers are separate. Because I don't think it's a good idea having the space jockey, this eldritch creature that's existed for potentially billions of years, and pretty much just having it be a bloke in a suit, because that's just lazy. I like the engineers, but they shouldn't be the space jockey. They need to be a separate thing. If they're separate, completely fine by me. I'll love it. Especially because Alien works to its strength when it's not retconning stuff, when it's expanding and finding ways to get it all to fit in. Because a lot of stuff from the RPG is from like the old canon, like the Berserker unit, or the Mox as it's called. Even the Free World Empire, they were conceptualized for the original 1979 film, but they got forgotten about until the RPG came out and they brought them back.
Calm down. We're safe now. Waits has a plan.
A plan? Really? His fucking plans haven't done us much good so far.
So I think also because Alien's gone on for so long, there's this tendency to be like, oh, we don't need to like have a good director for it, just get anyone. Seeing as Wes Anderson was for some reason decided to adapt AVP. But I think Alien is a franchise which deserves respect.
Maybe we'll be safe here. For now, anyway.
Because at the end of the day, Alien has been around for about 40 years.
Was that you? Did you get the transit running? Nice work.
So yeah, Alien's a series which has existed since about 40 years, and it's still going strong in my opinion. And it has a lot of potential with its world at the moment. All the stuff they've got in the background. The United Americas, the Free World Empire, the Union of Progressive People, the Independent Core System Colonies, the ICC, Wayne-Yutani, Seegson, Biosal International, I don't know how to pronounce that one. You've got like the Gemini Exoplant Solutions, you've got all this stuff. There's a lot of really good potential. You just need someone to know the best way to adapt it and to use it. So far, I would say two of the best people are Alex White and Scott Siegler, as they're two of the best Alien novel writers in my opinion.
How's Taylor?
Stable. Should be walking soon enough. Samuels is with her now.
Okay.
You managed to get transit up and running, so I guess we're even.
Where's Ricardo?
Prepping our next move.
Even Amanda likes Ricardo.
Look, I'm busy. I've got Marlowe in the cells, the lowlife who showed up with your flight recorder.
Where's Marlowe's ship? The Anisadora.
He put it in a parking orbit around the gas giant. Son of a bitch won't give us the command codes to let us bring it in on auto. Maybe you can get more out of the unhelpful bastard. Go talk to him.
Something I've always found interesting is the save station says hostiles nearby. Which I wonder if that was done intentional to like throw people off as a red herring. It's like, oh yeah, the Colonial Marshals, they're gonna turn on you at some point, but actually they don't. If that is the case, I will give them mad respect for that, because that's a brilliant idea. Let's see. Watat Sumi Efficient Power Solutions. No, Efficient Machine Solutions. That's who Axel worked for. Hello, Marlowe.
Marlowe?
Who wants to know?
My name's Ripley. I'm with the company.
Here for your empty box already? You guys are keen, I'll give you that.
I'm here for personal reasons. My mother was on the Nostromo when it went missing 15 years ago.
You serious? Shit. Well. Shit. We never found her ship, Ripley. Just the recorder.
But you sure as hell found something else. What happened out there?
I need a way out of here, Ripley. Maybe we can make a deal.
Just start talking. I want to know everything.
One of the highlights of the game coming up.
Check. You get me, Lewis?
A little fuzzy, Marlowe, but you're coming through.
Let's take it slow. I want to get to that beacon in one piece.
If you're looking for a peace Foster, I've got something for you right here.
I need scanning equipment to find it, Heist.
Okay, enough already. Focus on what we're here for. I don't want any mistakes.
There you are.
Foster, Meeks, keep your eyes open.
Roger.
A lot of great detail here. Also, I've never understood how to read this thing. What's that? Detection and range, does it say? I don't know. I don't know how you use this thing. It's a linear piece anyway, so you don't need it. You just need to follow the path. Fortunately, this is as much as we can see of the Inisdora. I believe the bridge is above us. But you don't see very much of the ship, unfortunately, which is a shame.
Lewis, have you managed to decode the signal yet? That's good. If it's a mystery, then it's unknown. If it's unknown, then it could be valuable.
This could be our biggest haul, Marlowe.
Could be.
Also, these spacesuits are just brilliant. I love them.
I'll have a look around. See if I can find a weak spot. Wait here.
Interestingly, points out it doesn't look natural. Are they implying something
Gonna need
there?
a lift.
Heist, over here. Give me a leg up.
Because we know LV-426 is in the same system as LV-223 from Prometheus.
I found a path. Checking it out. Then you wait some more. Yeah, I'm good. It was a close one, though. Don't think I'll be able to get back the way I came.
Just watch yourself, you hear me?
one thing as well, talking about the prequels. I would love to know what Ridley Scott's idea of the derelict is now. Because originally he was like, oh yeah, the space jockey race made the aliens, it was a bomber, the derelict was a bomber, that's what carried eggs. Now he's done his whole thing with David, like, oh, David made the aliens. How did they end up here in a space jockey engineer ship? Like, what's his explanation for that? Did he even think about that when he did David?
Stay put. I think I found something. There's a fissure in the rock. Stand back. I'm gonna blow it.
In my opinion, the novelization of Alien Isolation is superior than the film. And one reason, besides the characters being infinitely superior to the film, in the novelization, David didn't make the aliens. The engineers did. He just copied what they did. Which also it fits better with the films. It's like that explains why the engineers have alien eggs on their ship, which is crash landed. But apparently Ridley was like, no, I want it to be David, the sole creator. So it's like, so how does the engineer ship show up here?
Let's get going. Follow me. Heist, over here. Give me a leg up.
There you are. So I've just checked. So Alien Covenant takes place in 2104, and Alien takes place in 2122. So at some point between Covenant and Alien, David makes the Xenomorph XX-121, and I guess the engineers steal it and crash land on this planet. That means the derelict's only been here for maybe about 10 years, 15 years maybe? Which is kind of bleak, because it's like, well, the original implication was it's been there for centuries. Like hundreds of years, maybe thousands, hundreds of thousands. But now it's like, no, it's probably been there for about 15 years maybe. It's just like, oh, that's disappointing then. This Eldritch mysterious thing, and it's only been there for about 15 years. In my opinion, Ridley Scott, stick to Raised by Wolves. Just stick, do your Raised by Wolves thing, do your AI stuff with that. You can produce Alien, but just don't go near the writing room, please, because I really don't think you know what you're doing with Alien. Especially with his, oh, the beast is dead, the alien's dead. No, it's not. It's quite clearly not dead. People still like the alien. Just because you don't know how to use it correctly doesn't mean it's failed. Even in interviews, Ridley Scott's like, "Oh, we didn't put an alien in Prometheus. It was successful. We put one in Covenant, and it wasn't." It's like, are you seriously implying Covenant failed because it had an alien? Like, there's so many other reasons why that film failed, and it wasn't because it had an alien. I guess one of my other pet peeves is when people keep saying like, oh, Alien, it's a Ridley Scott franchise. Well, not really, no, because he didn't write it. Dan O'Bannon wrote Alien. Ridley Scott directed it. He did have some important part to play in it, like he got H.R. Giger back into the film when he got fired temporarily. his way of filming the first Alien was really great. Because a lot of it, I think, was filmed by hand without a tripod. But after that, though, it's like Ridley Scott has nothing else to do with the franchise beside the prequels. The bulk of it is done by other people, so I don't agree that, oh, it's a Ridley Scott franchise. It's if anything, so yeah, if anything, Alien is a Dan O'Bannon series, because he's the one we have to thank for getting it in the first place. Exactly. It's not because Covenant had an alien, it's how they just threw it in at the end. There's also the fact that we were led to believe it was the original alien when it's not. The Praetomorph is a different strain of xenomorph from the XX-121, which is in the first film in this game, but they don't specify that in the film. So it's like, well, why does it hatch so quickly? Oh, it's because it's a different strain. They don't explain that. Some of the choices behind the prequels are bizarre, like the idea of cutting the dialogue between Peter Weyland and the engineer, like the whole point of the film, and they cut it out, like Weyland talking to the engineer. They cut that out the film. What were they thinking? All of the interesting stuff from Prometheus, for the most part, is in deleted scenes. It's ridiculous. And Covenant is only good in a novelization, because in that one, the characters are better, the story's better, the Neomorph gets more screen time, and also, let's see, because what else is good about the novelization? So the characters in the novelization are better, Neomorph gets more screen time, it's more consistent with the lore. For instance, the engineers making the aliens first, which is how they end up here. But just in general, I'd recommend reading the book from the film. The book is so much better. Because literally all of the problems people have with Covenant is fixed in the book, I swear. Some of it's not, but most of it is fixed. It's ridiculous how much stuff is better in the book than the film. Like, it is really quite shocking. All of the...
Something big.
All of the good scene, all of the deleted scene from Covenant, which, like, explain stuff or, like, fix problems people had, is in the book. It's just depressing, in a way, the fact that the film just got so messed up in production. Well, I guess final production, that is. Because they cut too much stuff out which was important. Also, I'm not sure how much I like the design of the bone ship here. It's very subdued compared to how it appeared in the film. They've toned it down, I think, a little bit too much.
There's an opening up ahead. Oh my god.
Holy shit. Careful with what you touch. I don't want anything damaged.
It's amazing. How old must this be?
What is it? A cockpit?
And make this a ship.
I think we found our payload.
Hey, quiet.
What? You think we're gonna wake him? Hey, sorry, pal.
Can it? We're wasting time. Have a look around.
Marlo, it's a life form.
It was a life form. Now it's our property. Salvage rights.
We need to stake our claim before anyone else does.
The Isadora is not prepared for something this big.
Then we'll take what we can and come back. Have a look around, see what else is here.
Marlo, we found something. Tracks.
Tracks?
Looks like something was dragged. But that's not all. You're not gonna like this.
What is it?
Tracks lead here.
Same name that's on the flight recorder.
Nostromo. Someone's already been here.
Maybe they abandoned ship and landed here.
I can see that. Shit.
If they were here before us, why is there no record of this place?
Well, if they're still alive, there goes our salvage.
Let's find out. I'll find the beacon and shut it off. Don't want anybody else finding this place. Foster, Heist, check out the cavern below.
Yeah, in answer to your question, Foster, this is probably about 15 years old, given the prequels.
I've never seen anything like it.
It's not human, I'm telling you that.
I don't know why this room is so big. It wasn't this big in the first film. They've overdone it a little bit here. I think Covenant's problem as well is that it's not really Prometheus 2. It just completely drops all the things from the previous film, and it rushes into just becoming an Alien film, but it sort of took its time.
Meeks, I found the beacon. I'm gonna check it out. Don't know what happened, but the beacon stopped broadcasting.
Marlon, you have got to see this. It's amazing.
On my way.
Guess just to take in some of the detail here. But one of the things I like about the prequels is I kind of like the design of the control room in that. We have like the statues outside the doors. The one thing I will say is the concept art for the sarcophagus, the engineer cryotube, is much better in the concept art. Because in that one, the cryotube is essentially like a space jockey suit, and it just looks so much more Eldritch, and it looks really quite good. I think it's fairly easy to find. But in the concept art, the engineer ship was a lot more like Lovecraftian, I guess, in design. With how the cryotube essentially looks like the space jockey does there. It's just the same they toned down the engineer stuff in the film. They removed all like the Geiger aesthetic from it. Thankfully in Fireteam Elite, all of the Geiger aesthetic is back in the game. The engineer stuff looks much better in that. Well, in terms of comparing it to the prequels, that is.
This place just keeps on giving. Here, strap yourself in.
To mention, you can see this from the top of the hole. If you look down, you can see the blue glow. There is one problem here. In reality, you can only look forward here, because if you look to the sides, yeah. I don't think that's been integrated very well at all. If I move, yeah, that's the render distance. That is not great. So I wish they would just use a matte painting like in the original film, because this just looks really sort of out of place. It's not that big of a deal, but it is a bit. When you notice it, it does look really off.
I want to know more. Everything. Where's your ship? If we can break the comms lockdown, what are the codes to bring it in on auto?
If you want more, then you need to get me out of here.
Not happening, Marlowe.
Is that right? Well, you know where I am.
Wait. My board in the tech spire just lit up like a Christmas tree. It's here.
Plan B. Set it up.
Whatever's happening, I want in.
Okay, this way. Got something here you'll need.
Let's hope this thing works.
It's an animal. Animals are afraid of fire.
I hope you're right.
Oh, there's another sensor in here.
I've got a plan to trap it. Take a transit car and meet Ricardo in the Sys-Tech spire. I'll coordinate from here.
That might... Yeah, I think that's a new one, Lingard. I don't think we had that one before. So, we got a new card. Yes! I don't know if there's an easy way to find out where they are. Like, it'd be good if they branched into areas. For example, there's 3 towers on Sevastopol, and then there's the engineering block on the bottom of the station. Maybe if they split it into 4 columns. That way you have an idea of where they are. Like if it was labelled like Sys-Tech Spire, Solomon Tower, you know, that sort of stuff. So I feel like this is a good point to end the stream now. But before we finish, we'll just explore this room. Hello, Taylor. Get well soon. Plasma sphere. I wonder what a plasma sphere is. That sounds cool.
Wait, it's Dr. Lingard. I've just examined a patient with, well, I've never seen anything like it. It's some kind of unknown parasite. I did a quick check on the name they gave me, and there's no one registered under it at Sevastopol. I think she came on board recently. Do you know anything about this? I have no idea what Sinclair and his men were doing, but this should have been picked up during quarantine. Who knows what else they've let through? The patient and her captain are waiting for me in the examination room. Get down here now.
Wait, we should talk about what happened in San Cristobal. Now, it was a nasty business, and I understand that you want to deal with it as quietly and quickly as possible. But I wanted to make sure you didn't do anything rash. I'm talking about catching the specimen without killing it. If we play it smart, we could be set up for life. I have the connections. I can set it up. You're getting old, Waits, you can't do this forever, and what are you going to do when Sevastopol closes? You have my number. Branson out.
What are you... He doesn't have his thing. Yeah, I feel it's definitely a good time to end the stream because the game's bugging out a little bit. Before we do though, look who it is! It's the fan favourite, Siegs in Private Guard. God, I wish these people were in the game. Because apparently in the game files you can actually see the 3D model for the submachine gun magazine. They modelled that. I don't know if they actually modelled the SMG itself though. But yeah, I wish we could have got these in like a Survivor DLC. Like you get to play Siegs and Guard, you have the submachine gun and everything. That would have been a great way to implement them. But at least we get the armour in game. But yeah, those guys were going to be so cool though. Probably would have been the hardest enemy in the game beside the alien. Because they're going to have like the submachine gun and stuff. Would have made them a good challenge. Oh yeah, there's this bit as well.
Stay awake, jackass. If we're gonna get through this, I need you alive.
Yeah, that'll do it for this today. Oh. Because hopefully, if we have time before the end of April, I do want to do like a normal playthrough. That mostly probably be in case we miss any ID tags, Nostromo logs, and also probably because it's going to be the best way to beat the game without dying. Because we only have 3 trophies to get, and then we get Platinum and 100% the game. Then it really will be the complete Alien Isolation. And so, at this point, it's just 9 more days to Season 3 Fireteam Elite, and 16 days till Alien Day, which will be another Fireteam Elite stream. Hopefully, between that time, we can finish the game on Nightmare, and then do maybe a secondary normal run, which will be based on just trying to get through without dying, if we can. Because I've got fairly far before. I've got up to the Working Joe revolt in the, I think, Solomon's habitation. No, not Solomon's habitation. In the Galleria, when the Working Joes attack. I got to that point without dying. So I think on normal I should be fine. Part of it just depends on what luck we get. Which is, I guess, the only problem with getting the no death playthrough. Is if the luck is just not on your side. But we haven't got to that point yet. So I'm now going to end the stream. Maybe look at YouTube a little bit and then read more of the Colonial Marine technical manual.